So, after Mega Man Base was released in 1998 over at Japan, Mega Man just sort of disappeared. Years passed, and even after the turn of the new millennium, classic Mega Man was nowhere to be seen. Other series of games in the franchise will go on like the Mega Man Zero series, Battle Network, and so on and so forth, but the original Blue Bomber was pretty much on hiatus.
That is until 2008, when the next installment of the classic series was finally announced, Mega Man 9. Not only was Mega Man returning to form, the series was going back to its 8-bit settings and a structure very similar to the likes of Mega Man 1 and 2. I thought it was a pretty good idea. The classic series spent most of its time in the 8-bit era, and since this was during the wave of retro revivals, I thought it only made sense for it. Not to mention, the style just seems to fit the classic series best.
I figured a considerable amount of people probably weren't too pleased with Mega Man regressing in terms of graphics, seeing as the likes of Mega Man 7, 8, and Base were trying to enhance the presentation because of advancements in technology at the time. I don't really have an issue with it personally though. True, I liked how these games looked, but like I said earlier, graphics and sound aren't everything. As long as the game is fun to play, I couldn't care less if the game went back to 8-bit. The question is, why though? Why make the next game 8-bit in the first place? According to Keiji Inafune himself, in the late 2000s, gamers both young and old were able to experience retro games thanks to the likes of the Virtual Console, Xbox Live Arcade, and PlayStation Network, and thought it was a good opportunity to make Mega Man 9 the way it was. Not just 8-bit, but also heavily influenced by the likes of Mega Man 2 in terms of design, structure, and challenge. But did it work? Well, that's what we're here to find out now. I actually bought Mega Man 9 the day it was released on WiiWare, and I clearly remember having a hard fucking time and pulling my hair out in some instances. But now that I have the previous 9 games under my belt, I'm extremely curious to see how well Mega Man 9 holds up, as well as Mega Man 10, which we'll get into later.
Our journey begins with something we're very familiar with at this point. Robots are wreaking havoc, and suspicions arise that Dr. Wily is once again up to his old tricks. However, Dr. Wily is quick to notify citizens that the recent rampage of robots was not his own doing, but rather Dr. Light's, seeing as his attacking robots are not only Dr. Light's design, but a videotape is shown to reveal that Dr. Light wants to take over the... John, this is just painful to read. Can we just move on? We all know it's Dr. Wily. You don't have to play the naive first-timer.
Yeah, I was just about to stop you myself. I know we're kind of jumping the gun here a bit, folks, but even Mega Man alongside his friends are quick to blame Wily for everything that's happened, and sure enough, he really does turn out to be the bad guy all along, fancy that. As you continue along the game, you'll find out the reason why Dr. Light's robots are assisting Wily is because all these robots are past their expiration dates. When Robot Masters expire, they are required to be scrapped and recycled under law. Wily convinces the Robot Masters that it could be of much more use, and secretly reprograms them to follow his every command. I was actually quite intrigued with this plot, despite them not really doing much with it in the end. I mean, robots are bound to the 3 laws of robotics, but do they secretly resent the fact that they need to eventually die because of human law? Could it be possible that Robot Masters at one point or another begin to revolt because of it? Well, seeing as this is the classic Mega Man series and not Mega Man X, the answer to that is no. Still, it's interesting to think about.
Okay then, we all know Wily's really the bad guy here, and just like before, we need to trample 8 Robot Masters before we can get them. Just like the NES games, you're free to choose any of the 8 robots in any order you want, so...
Holy shit! A female! That's eye-catching, but it also makes me wonder, why in the hell did it take them 9 games to invoke women's rights in the Robot Master department?
Yeah, anyway, I normally like to tackle Galaxy Man first because he's pretty freaking easy to take down with the Mega Buster alone. That and his weapon, the Black Hole Bomb, is pretty awesome to use.
Tell me about it. It sucks up almost everything, including enemies with annoying shields. And with it being the weakness of Jewel Man, we also gain access to the Jewel Satellite, which is hands down the best shield weapon in the entire classic series, period. It makes mincemeat of smaller enemies, and unless you run into something huge or tough, it never disappears until you exit the current area. In fact, Mega Man 9 just may be my favorite when it comes to the weapons you can score. No, really, just about every single one of these weapons kicks ass in some sort of way. The Laser Trident packs a punch and pierces shields, the Plug Ball is pretty much just a faster Search Snake, which I like to begin with, the Tornado Blow is great for mini-bosses, the Magma Bazooka provides great coverage, and the Hornet Chaser is fantastic for long-range combat, and it draws an item pickup that you can't exactly reach. Now this is what I'm talking about here, I love these weapons. Oh, a screw.
John, what are you doing?
No, I think my controller's broken because I can't seem to slide to get that screw.
Yeah, Mega Man kind of doesn't have the slide or the charge anymore.
Mega Man doesn't have his slide or charge shot? Why?
Well, when the developers said that the likes of Mega Man 2 were an influence in the creative process of Mega Man 9, that also meant limiting Mega Man's move pools, and since Mega Man technically didn't have the slider charge shot in Mega Man 2, well, I think you get the idea. I do miss the slide more than the charge shot personally. The slide just made so many more possibilities for level design and enemy variety. I don't really miss the charge shot. The sound got annoying and I really didn't use it that much unless it was pretty much required for something.
I guess for the sake of delivering an old school Mega Man experience, it's understandable, but it's not something I'm exactly comfortable with. Luckily, the game is designed around the lack of slide and charge shot, so it's not something that makes the game cheap by any means, but I like the slide and charge shot.
With the Scrooge, you can once again purchase items not out of shop where...
Energy tanks! Oh yes, you're back! Oh, you're relatively cheap too. Oh, I know. I'll use the Jewel Satellite and Plugman stage and grind these guys so I can max out on E-tanks as soon as I possibly can.
Yeah, going through a bit of E-tank withdrawal there.
Want to play Mega Man and Bass and find out?
No, I was just curious.
Man, I'm glad to see these back, but some of these other items aren't too shabby either, like this item which cuts the damage you take in half for one stage. Just don't buy this waste of money. Yeah, 200 screws just to change Roll's outfit to a Mega Man 8 attire? No thanks. The likes of Rush Coil and Rush Jet are also back, and it feels good again to be able to use them effectively to avoid certain hazards or obstacles.
When it comes to the game's overall challenge, I think it's pretty middle of the road, honestly. It has a few cheap moments here and there, but it's nowhere near the same level as Mega Man and Bass, nor Mega Man 1's difficulty. It's hard without being too frustrating, so it kind of fits that nice middle ground for me.
I think I'm on the same boat. Now, I found myself irritated at certain points, especially in this part of Jewel Man stage. I hate this shit. But overall, I thought Mega Man 9's challenge was challenging, but fair. Then again, I guess it really depends on just what type of player you are. Since Mega Man 9 is harkening back to Mega Man's 8-bit days, the graphics are obviously simpler than what Mega Man 7 and 8 offered, but when you look at it individually, I think it looks great. Vibrant colors, goofy enemy designs, you can even head into the options menu and enable sprite flickering. But why the hell would you want to do that?
I think the game looks and sounds as good as any NES game. When it loses in graphical fidelity by going back to 8-bit, it gains nostalgic charm that we had long been missing from many games, especially for the time.
Well, nostalgic if you've been growing up with the series, but still, I think even newcomers can appreciate this sort of thing. Mega Man 2's influence can clearly be seen, especially if you actually played the game to compare. Even the opening theme of Wily's Fortress is ripped right out of Mega Man 2, which I actually really like, so I have no problem with that. The whole soundtrack is great stuff, just to put it shortly, with my favorite themes being Splash Woman and Concrete Man's.
You ready to take on Wily for the 10th time?
God damn, I really am fighting this old bastard for the 10th time, am I? When it comes to Wily's stages, I really only hate two particular sections. The beginning of Wily 1 because you have to use Tornado Blow to get these platforms moving, and you have to grind for weapon energy if you use the weapon too many times. Then there's this particular jump in Wily Stage 2, which can just go fuck itself. That is a tight-ass jump. The final battle with Dr. Wily, hey asshole, you missed me by about 10 feet.
If you've been playing other Mega Man games at this point in time, then you should know what to expect at this point. This incarnation of Wily is a bit annoying, especially if you're trying to bounce that egg bag at him during the first half of the fight, but nothing compares to Wily Capsule 7.
It wasn't that hard.
Shut up, you.
Shazam! Wily's defeated once again, with Mega Man humorously showing him recordings of his past defeats to show that he just never learns. It's a nice little throwback gag, but I also find it a bit depressing and somewhat pathetic on Wily's end. However, Wily uses the fake Dr. Light he used in the beginning of the game to paralyze Mega Man and escape, with Proto Man jumping in to save the Blue Bomber yet again. Now, speaking of Proto Man, you can actually play as him via downloadable content. For $2, you can finally get to experience how someone like Proto Man handles, and sheesh, he's a freaking glass cannon. Well, first off, he has access to both the slide and charge shot. I'm assuming he stole these abilities from Mega Man and never told him, but as punishment for doing so, he takes double the damage and receives twice as much knockback when he gets hit. Holy shit, look how much damage Splash Woman's laser trident did to him! If Mega Man 9 wasn't that challenging for you, then you'll probably find more of what you're looking for by purchasing Proto Man. I think I'll stay with Mega Man though, thanks. Technically, this wasn't the first time you can play as Proto Man in the mainstream titles. You can unlock Proto Man and Mega Man powered up by completing all the challenges in challenge mode, although here his default weapon is nothing but the charge shot. Have fun nuking the shit out of enemies with large ass cannon shots. By the way, I like to take this time to thank the people who gave me the solution to the slowdown problem I mentioned in the Mega Man 1 review. Everything's running at a normal speed now, and I'm extremely grateful for the help, guys.
Which leads us to Mega Man 10, where, for the first time, Mega Man and Proto Man team up to stop the latest threat, the Robo-Enza virus.
Robo-Enza virus?
Yeah, it's kinda like influenza, but for robots.
Robo-Enza virus. So this Robo-Enza virus has caused robots from all over the world to go batshit crazy and start attacking humans. Among the infected is Roll herself, which prompts Mega Man to get to the bottom of this and locate a cure. Just then, Dr. Wily crash lands on the scene, who explains that he was in the middle of working on a cure, but was suddenly attacked by infected robots. Mega Man makes it his mission to recover Wily's medicine-making machine and stop the sick robots from causing more destruction.
As soon as Mega Man gets ready to begin, Proto Man jumps in and offers to actually help Mega Man this time around, thinking this particular mission may be a bit too much for one person to handle alone.
If you couldn't tell from the title screen alone, you can also play as bass this time around too, but like Proto Man and Mega Man 9, he's downloadable content. Is he worth the $2 extra? Well, he can dash, jump, shoot in multiple directions, and has access to that oh-so-lovely treble boost from Mega Man and Bass, so I'll let you decide on that one. No, seriously, get him. He absolutely rocks against mini-bosses and shit. No double jump, though, which kinda makes me sad. Okay then, we are 11 games in at this point, folks, and really, when it comes to Mega Man 10, not a whole lot was really changed between this game and Mega Man 9. The game retains the 8-bit setting that Mega Man 9 brought back, seeing as that game was a critical and financial success, and pretty much continues with the formula that made Mega Man what he was known for. Now obviously the game does have its share of additions, like the ability to play as Proto Man from the get-go, who has the same properties as he did in Mega Man 9. Mega Man, however, is still missing the slide and charge shot, so if you didn't like that in Mega Man 9, you're not going to like it here. Both Mega Man 9 and 10 have additional modes that you can play to get more bang for your buck, like Time Attack to get faster times, or these special stages that contain unique boss battles at the end. They're downloadable content though, so approach with caution. Mega Man 10, for the first time since the international version of Mega Man 2, actually offers a difficulty select, so you can play the game with that classic Mega Man challenge, or take it down a notch in easy mode, to get beginners familiar with the mechanics of the game.
Just be careful though, easy mode can spoil the shit out of first time players. You remember the Yasaishi from Mega Man 1? You know, that one-time item you find at the very end of the game that fully restores your health and weapon energy? Well, they're all over the place here. Just completed an already neutered obstacle course? Have Yasaishi. No, really, just take it, they're easy and they're bastardizing.
I still recommend the normal difficulty of Mega Man 2 to get first timers up and going with their classic Mega Man experience, but I'm glad Mega Man 10 gives the players the option regardless. Besides that, folks, Mega Man 10 at this point in the Mega Man Marathon is your run-of-the-mill classic Mega Man game. 8 more Robot Masters, a shop to buy items to help you progress, Wily stages ending with a climatic battle between you and Dr. Wily. Oh, I'm sorry, did I say that last part out loud? Folks, if there's ever a point where you think Dr. Wily isn't the villain in a classic Mega Man game, you're wrong. Dr. Wily turns out to be the one who created the Robo-Enza virus, and offers a cure only to those who are willing to work for him. My overall experiences with Mega Man 10 were positive, but at times the level of challenge felt very much like a roller coaster. Remember back in my review of Super Mario Bros. 3 when I felt the game was pretty much all over the place in terms of difficulty? I had similar feelings with Mega Man 10. There are some stages that are a piece of cake, and then there are some that are about as annoying as another college bill. Strike Man stage just won't stop bombarding me with deadly footballs, baseballs, and lockers. Lockers? And then there's Commando Man stage where these torrents of sand can really mess you up and cause death if you don't have good timing and perception. If you have Rush Jet before getting here, however, you can actually ride the sand waves for some super fast jet riding. Yeah, look at that, fuck you level. But when there are levels I don't like, there are some levels I do enjoy in terms of design and challenge. I always got a kick out of Sheep Man stage because of the computer motif. It's good to see the aesthetics of Mega Man's level design evolve over the course of time.
Mega Man 10, while solid overall, falls into that Mega Man 4 and 5 route for me and just sort of being another Mega Man game. There's nothing inherently wrong with it just sort of is. I do like a number of the stages such as Sheep Man and Strike Man, but the rest are just so-so for me. Not awful, but nowhere near Mega Man 2 or 3.
Within time, Mega Man will contract Robo-Enza, but is almost immediately cured when Roll gives him a prototype cure. Almost makes this entire scene seem rather pointless, really. Yeesh, Dr. Wily really went all out with a Forger's design this time, didn't he? This place looks fucking huge.
Looks huge, but it's actually relatively the same size as previous castles. I like the battle against the weapons archive system, which pretty much is just a love letter to longtime Mega Man fans, but this giant enemy crab is nothing special, the Block Devil is no Yellow Devil, and the boss rush is pretty self-explanatory.
Yarg, but if asked, Dr. Wily's new machine be squabbling with a pirate motif, which doesn't mean anything in terms of attacks. Missiles, lasers, really the pirate hat seems rather silly.
However, Wily manages to escape before total defeat, complete with an elongated sequence, which is actually pretty funny if you've been playing the Mega Man series for a long time. The absolute final battle with Wily is probably one of the easiest in the series, mostly due to the fact that it's a space setting so you have low gravity.
Why bother with the Wily double when the copy is so obviously not the real thing? But overall, yeah, this battle is no problem. For the final time, Dr. Wily is defeated, ending with the doctor catching a fever. Our heroes escort Wily to the nearest hospital where he predictably makes his escape in due time, but leaves a shitload of medicine to heal all the infected robots. Aw, see, he's not such a bad guy after all. It just took him 12 games to finally show some human decency. But, yeah, that's the end of the Mega Man Marathon, folks. You know, playing the series of games have really opened up my eyes to the world of Mega Man in general. If it weren't for this marathon, I probably would have never experienced the likes of Mega Man 3 or Mega Man 7. I probably would have never revisited Mega Man 6, a childhood classic of mine to begin with. And to all those that recommended me this marathon to look at in the first place, thanks, I appreciate it. Mega Man, he really isn't looking too good nowadays, isn't he? We haven't seen an official game in the lineup since Mega Man 10 came out in 2010, and it seems that whenever something new pops up, it just ends up being cancelled or plays like absolute shit. Before any of you tell me, yeah, I am aware of Street Fighter Cross Mega Man, but seeing as that was initially a fan-made game that was officially endorsed by Capcom, I felt it didn't count for this marathon. Now, I'm not shitting on the game in general, in fact at this point in time I haven't even played the game yet, but Street Fighter Cross Mega Man feels more like a spin-off more than a continuation of the classic series.
The future doesn't look completely bleak for the Blue Bomber. After all, his inclusion in the next Smash Bros. Trailer just goes to show how much fans really love the little dude, and the existence of Mighty Number 9 may revitalize some interest in the Mega Man franchise if, it ends up doing well. With Capcom being in a state of financial uncertainty at this point in time, I can only hope Mega Man finds some safe ground soon. I don't know, maybe Nintendo can purchase the IP at this point. That probably wouldn't help much overall, but I think fans of the series would like to see something happen to Mega Man instead of remaining in the limbo like he is right now.
Now you guys have all heard my opinions on each individual game, but I can say now that the classic Mega Man series as a whole is something I could recommend to any fan of platformers and action games. If you haven't done so already, go try out a Mega Man game on the Virtual Console, Xbox Live Arcade, or PlayStation Network. Hell, get the Anniversary Collection and save yourself $1 or $2.
I personally recommend starting with Mega Man 2. It's not too difficult, but still provides enough challenge. It began a lot of traditions that other games in the series would follow, and I think overall it's the most solid game in the series.
And if you would like to hear Ryan's full opinions on Mega Man's 1 through 10, you can catch his full reviews on his YouTube channel, Nairman214. Assuming you have nothing to do for the rest of the day.
John, your Sonic 06 review is over 50 minutes long. You really have no right to judge me.
Yeah, I'll judge as much as I want. I have to get that. Ryan, I'll see you later.
Don't forget you're doing Mega Man and